Okay, so recording has been started and we will begin our lesson. So uh, nice to see you all. So I can go here. Okay, nice to see you all. So I'm Joseph from the Department of Business Administration. So you are here in this classroom. Welcome back to the campus, and you are taking this class BUS380 Digital Game Marketing. Now, first of all, I would like you to go to your Moodle and download some files. Today, we will talk about the course schedule, of course, and we will talk about this lecture 1 and tutorial 1 document. So please download these 3 files. I will also download the files on this computer. So, okay, so these are the files that we have. Now, this is the schedule, very good. And this is the lecture. Okay, and this is the tutorial. Okay, so now welcome everyone to this very interesting course on digital game marketing. Now, I am your lecturer as well as the tutor, and I'm going to show you some very interesting thing related to this particular interesting industry in this upcoming semester. Now, as you may know, this is the very first week. You are still in the egg drop period. And because of this, today we will not take the attendance. Okay, we will start to take the attendance next week, and I will talk about this attendance policy very soon. Now, usually, the class will be divided into 2 sections. So the first section will be the lecture, usually around 1.5 hours. And the rest 1 hour will be dedicated to the tutorial. So every week we will spend some 1.5 hours for some kind of talking and sharing for this lecture time. And the rest of the day, the rest of the section, 1 hour, you will have some kind of hands-on and different things. Now, usually is this mix, but I will not guarantee the duration. So it depends on how many things that I would like to talk about and share with you, and how many things that we will do in the tutorial. Now, as you may know, I am new to this university, although I taught this course last year as a part-time staff. This year, I work here as a full-time. So no harm for me to first look at the tutorial file and give you a self-introduction of who am I, what is my expectation for both you and me in this particular semester. So I am Dr. Joseph Kong. Call me Joseph is good enough. My office is in somewhere upstairs, 4th floor in room 441. And this is my phone number, and this is my email address. So for your convenience, I have already included a QR code. What you need to do is just point your phone here, and then you can save my contact. Now, my office phone number is also registered on WhatsApp. So I think for your convenience, this is the most convenient way for you to reach me after office hour. So you are mature adult. So I respect that you are mature adult. So you know how to manage the time. Okay, you know that I am not supposed to answer you anything after midnight. Okay, I don't want somebody suddenly texting me message that telling me, okay, it's time to go to toilet when I was sleeping. Okay, when I'm sleeping. Okay, so in case you would like to reach me using WhatsApp, you can use this particular phone number. In case you would like to send me email, this is the email address. Now, we only have one section on every Thursday. This is a very small class. We only have around 25 students registered, and this course is an elective course. So I may see you next week. You may drop out from this particular elective, or you will have some additional classmate next week. I don't know. That's why during this egg drop period, for the first week, I will not take the attendance, but I will talk about the attendance policy very soon in this particular tutorial. Now, as you may know, I am new to this university, so no harm for me to give you a personal self-introduction. Now, this is, once again, this is my schedule. And in this particular semester, I am teaching 3 courses. This is one of it. And in case you are year 3 student, you are taking e-business management in this semester, unfortunately, you will be taught by me as well. And in case you are year 4 student taking digital entrepreneurship, maybe the class tomorrow or maybe the class on Monday, you will be taught by me as well. So I will be teaching 3 courses: digital entrepreneurship, e-business management, and digital game marketing in this particular semester. So this is my timetable. Once again, my office is upstairs, 4th floor in room 441. My phone number already registered on WhatsApp, so feel free to text me a message. And my email address is this one, the same QR code here. Now, in case you have missed the first lesson, assuming that I will upload this one to my YouTube channel, so the same piece of information could also be found on the door of my office. So feel free to come to my office, scan the QR code, and look at my schedule. Now, in case you would like to talk to me in person for anything, please make appointment using WhatsApp first. Okay. Although I am always in my office, I am doing some kind of course preparation. So it's better for you to first text me a message telling me that you would like to talk to me in person before you come. Okay. Now, I graduate from City University, so I have been teaching in CityU for quite a long time, and this year is the first year. No, the second year. So last year I worked here as a part-time lecturer. This year I work here as a full-time. So my PhD thesis actually talk about the game World of Warcraft. Okay, I do research in gaming behavior, collaborative learning in this type of online gaming virtual environment. So in case you are interested to look at what kind of rubbish that I have produced during my years of studying PhD, my thesis was hidden somewhere in the CityU library. In case you have a chance, you can go there and look for it. I don't know about the whereabouts of my thesis now. I have absolutely no idea. Maybe you can go to the terminal and search for it. Now, I run a scholarship, and because I have no hair, so I like to wear a cap when my face is being recorded and then put on the YouTube channel. And the reason for taking this photo is that I am actually running a scholarship in CityU, and they give me a chair. Okay, they give me a chair in one of the halls. Now I have talked to the department head here. So after a year of working, let's see next year whether I would like to run a scholarship here as well. Now, this is me. And to surprise you, I am quite a perfume collector. So I collect quite a lot of perfume. And in fact, I can just using my nose alone, I can differentiate around 40 different brands of perfume and model. And these are some of my collections. So there is one more reason for you to come to see me in person, because you can try out my collection. Okay, so now in the previous 1 or 2 years, we need to rely on online teaching. And I think that now we still need to rely on in this type of online teaching for the first 2 weeks of this particular course. We don't know what will happen after 2 weeks. Let's see. I think we need to wait for the university announcement. But this is usually the case for the previous year when I was teaching online, and this is my office with my gaming chair. So you can see quite obviously I am quite suitable to teach this particular class. Now, these are some of the keyboard that I'm using. Mechanical keyboard, very good for gaming. And I've built my own computer. Now, these are something that I will try to arrange in the upcoming weeks. Because this course, I will do some kind of demonstration related to playing different games, doing game streaming, and show you quite a lot of example. Now, I myself graduate from City University, but my major is information system. I do research on gaming behavior. I do research in related to information system. Now, I am not the guy who studied marketing. Okay, so you are taking this course. I will assume that you have already completed your introduction to marketing course. So you are the expert in marketing. Now, my job here is to give you some knowledge related to the digital game industry and marketing related to this thing. Okay, so it is your job to tell me how to market something that you want to market. So I am not a marketing expert. I'm just a gaming expert. So you are the marketing expert. I am a gaming expert. So we will have a very good match in this particular course. I tell you something that I know. You tell me something that you know. Okay, so we learn from each other. I will learn some marketing tricks from you, and you will learn some gaming tricks from me. Now, I've built my own computer for teaching and gaming and research purpose. So you can see that I have quite a lot of old display card floating around in my office. I built my own computer. And in case you build your computer as well, you could recognize this brand and this brand, which is a very famous brand for cooler and display card. We will talk about these in the upcoming lessons. Now, some of my students actually captured me when I was teaching in the previous semester. Very interesting. This is me demonstrating how to play Mario online, and we'll do the same in this semester. Hopefully, you will not do the same by taking photo and then put it on Instagram. And they call this one very interesting. Last year, when I tried to demonstrate it, this type of family computer, they called me the grandpa generation. I don't think I'm that old. Okay, so I think I'm not 40 yet. So I think I am not eligible to be your grandpa, but we will show you this. Okay, we will show you this. Now, I do a lot of gaming and testing using my computer. I think later I can bring you these joysticks for you to have a look. Now, this is my lovely sister who works in Tokyo, and this is somewhere near her home. Whenever I have some kind of vacation, I will go to rest in her home. So actually, Japan is like my second home. Okay, I just fly there and then stay in my sister's home. And you can recognize that this is like homes in Japanese anime. Okay, now I do a lot of design when I was working in City University. That's why the first job I was being assigned when I joined this university is to revise their name card. So these are some of the design that I have done. And I think you are not surprised that there are quite a lot of toys available in the market that are related to games as well. So these are some kind of Nerf gun. In fact, I have brought it here. In fact, in case you are interested, you can, I don't mind you circulate and have a look. Okay, so I have a good relationship with the manufacturer of this type of toy. That's why I run a YouTube channel and also talk about the toys as well. And I will show you these very soon. Now, I play Airsoft and I play Nerf, and it will be fun if you can combine some of your interests and then use it for gaming. Okay, so I don't have batteries. Okay, 我就冇入電嘅，咁所以咧就唔 work 嘅，你放心。OK，係啦，咁So these are some kind of Nerf blasters that I have in my office. So later, these are very big. So later in upcoming lessons, I may ask for some of your help to move some of my toys here so that your classmate can have a look and experience something happening related to the digital game industry. Now, this is one of the blaster from one of the very famous game called Overwatch. And I use this as my teaching aid on in my lectures and in my promotion activities, in my talks as well. Hope that you will find this interesting. And I can do these sort of tricks. Okay, so these are something that I have done where date back to the days when I was in CTU. I can do these sort of tricks. Okay, so and to surprise you, I can run airsoft rifle as fast as Nerf guns. So these are some of my just daily interests. So in case you would like to look at all these toys, feel free to come to my office. Now I ride my scooter around. This is my transportation equipment. And my sister think that I look like Paul. Because I run my scooter and my belly is as big as Paul. So this is some kind of jokes that I've posted on my Instagram. Okay, anyway, now this is me. Okay, so you have more understanding about who am I and the way that I'm going to teach you in this particular semester. Now, as I have told you, I have the YouTube and Instagram. That's why, in case you are also interested, let me show you this. Okay, so this just post when before I come down to have lesson. Now, this is my Instagram. In case you would like to follow me, it is at Dr. Joseph Kong. So this is actually my account, which related to Nerf blaster, related to perfume, related to gaming, and related to other of my collection. So just in case you are interested, you could follow me and see those interesting things that I am doing. Now, let me show you another thing. This is my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel is Dr. Joseph Kong. In case you follow my Instagram, go to my profile. Here is a link in my profile where you can go and find my YouTube channel. Now, in the previous semester, because we are running online classes, so usually I will record what I taught and upload to my YouTube channel, and then I will put the link in Moodle so that whenever you would like to access those type of teaching material, you can always go back to my YouTube channel and look at or review what kind of things that I have talked about. So these are some of the video related to me blind testing perfume. And let's see this one. And the one that you are, the blaster that you are circulating, I think it should be somewhere here. Where is it? So let me click on this video. So it should be this one. So this is the Halo MA40, this one. So these are some thing that I have done for when I have some kind of leisure time. Okay. Now, just like other YouTube channel, but I don't have a lot of followers. But anyway, so this is me. Okay, so this is me. Now, let me prepare the next stage of my teaching by restarting my Mac. I need to run the PC side of the computer so that later in this lesson, I will show you some games. So allow me to restart this computer. Okay, great. So I will just temporarily put this aside, temporarily close this one and go back to your tutorial slide. Okay, so we'll talk about the scoring structure later. So let me go back to the lecture first. Okay. Okay, so you have some idea about what will be, okay, you have some idea about who am I, and hope that you will find that I am an interesting person and I am capable to teach you this particular topic in this particular semester. Now, course material. Okay, so all course material, let's say tutorial notes and also the lecture slide, I will upload to Moodle. Okay, I will try to do it a little bit earlier. Now, I have a lot of things to review before coming to the class and quite a lot of preparation. You can see that I need to bring quite a lot of things in order to deliver the lesson both online and offline. That's why, sorry about the uploading speed. I can only finalize my teaching material 1 or 2 days before the lesson. So sorry about that. Now, all the things, all the teaching material will be on Moodle. Now, in this particular semester, in case you would like to attend the class online, make sure that you need to go and seek for the approval at the registry. Okay, go to the registry, give them the reason, ask them to approve. So I am not the one who approve taking online lesson. So registry will pass me a student list and I will just follow that particular list to allow whether you can take online classes or not. So in case you would like to take online classes, make sure that you go to the registry. Now, there are 2 principal readings. In case you are interested, my teaching will roughly follow these 2 textbooks. It will be available in using the same, well, they are from the same publisher. Okay, they are from the same publisher. So these are the 2 textbooks. In case you would like to have something to follow, feel free to buy yourself a copy and you will learn quite a lot of things related to this digital game industry. Now, why are you here? I think there are a number of reasons for you to pick this particular elective. So this is not a core course. You are free to take this particular digital game marketing course. So why are you here? Maybe these are some of the reasons that I've come up with before teaching this particular class. Maybe because you have absolutely no idea about what is a digital game. And I think this is very not likely in this day. Now, in case you have no idea about what is a digital game, I have included this particular interesting video on YouTube, which talks about a brief history or a brief history of the video game. So these are some of the old days. So these are one of the very first digital game we have in the human history. Now, I think I cannot, is it? Okay, no, the problem is this one. Okay, so I will put it here. Some bright sparks starting fire within the oscilloscope, as engineers are wont to do. The first video games were born upon mighty post-war mainframes, designed for rapid code breaking and the calculation of ballistic trajectories.
An early example is 1958's Tennis for Two, a simple two-player tennis simulation built for an analog machine. Once computers made their way into academic institutions, there was no shortage of programming and experimentation. Space War is such fruit of curiosity from MIT in 1962. By the 1970s, the commercial application of these electronic attractions were realized in the form of arcade games, mass-produced, self-contained units which dispense coin-operated entertainment. 1972's Pong is the most iconic from this era, proving phenomenally popular and becoming the first commercially successful game. As computers became more powerful, games of greater complexity became possible. 1974's Maze War is arguably the very first FPS.
Okay, so these are the early beginning in the human history related to digital game. We came from the 60s and 70s, even before I was born, up to now, or maybe roughly my age. This is the 80s. We have games like this.
Scrolling background acted as a catalyst to drive sales of new hardware. Adventure games also benefited from enhanced visuals, with the so-called point-and-clicks, such as The Secret of Monkey Island, illustrating your piratical exploits in a way no text adventure ever could.
So these are games in the 90s. And I think you could recognize this one.
The as-you-are-hued titular character plows through the colorful and varied levels faster than any overweight plumber you'd ever dream of.
Okay, one of the examples here is very famous is this one. Okay, we have Doom and we have Myst.
Wolfenstein 3D is the emergence point of the first-person shooter.
So
Doom further cemented the FPS's enduring popularity, with the high-action, claw-filled gunplay appealing to many. Unlike more sedate, Myst's ray-traced graphics took full advantage of the then-new CD-ROM technology.
Okay, those was the very first, one of the very first CD-ROM game, and I don't think you need to use CD-ROM nowadays. Okay, 仲有冇人部電腦有 CD 㗎？嗱，我就特登裝咗個 drive 喺我自己嗰部機嗰度。So I have a CD-ROM drive installed on my own computer back in my office just for testing purpose. Okay, and I don't think you really need a CD-ROM nowadays on your computer. I think a lot of things now are digitally distributed, and we will also talk about this digital distribution in upcoming lessons. Now, this is the game called Myst. In fact, this game is recently remade, just released several days ago. Okay, so this is the same game, but actually it is being just released several days ago, and it is VR compatible. Now I am trying to buy a VR unit so that in upcoming weeks, I wish to show you the original one, and let's see if I can buy this sort of goggles so that you can try the VR one here in this particular lesson. So let's see if it will happen. Okay, I'm trying to arrange that. Now it is VR compatible. So you can see back in the old days, your movement is just by a mouse click. So you can see the cursor move around, and actually these graphics are pre-rendered. Now it is fully remade using VR, and you are free to move around, something like that. So the difference between 90s and 2021. Okay, we will talk about these remake later in this particular semester. Now, and so these are something that I don't know why you are here, in case you have absolutely no idea about video game. And in case you really have no idea about game, watch this video yourself. It will give you some kind of brief idea about the history of this particular industry. Now, maybe you are attracted by this interesting course name. So whenever I put game in one of the words of the course title, there will be a lot of students interested to take this course. So maybe you are interested to join this particular course because of this interesting name. Maybe you like gaming, maybe you love gaming, and you try to cover it up with academic excuse. So back in the days when I was studying PhD, I do research on gaming because I like to play games. So whenever my supervisor come into my office and ask what am I doing, I will not tell him that I'm doing gaming, I'm doing research. Okay, so this is my excuse. So maybe you are trying to convince your mom that you are gaming, but instead you are doing your homework. So your homework is related to how to play a game and how to analyze a game, so that you need to play a game. So you can convince your mom that you need to buy a very powerful computer and then put it at home because of this course. Now, don't tell your mom that this is the reason I give it to you. Okay, don't tell your mom that this is the reason I give it to you. Now, maybe you want to understand more about yourself as a gamer. We will talk about some psychology related to gamers, why you like to play some games, and how different game mechanism will drive you continue playing. And these are some of the tricks that when the game developer is developing a game, they will try to implement these sort of things and put it in their game. And maybe in the future, you would like to have a career in the video game industry, or you would like to become an e-sport athlete. Now, back in the days when I was still 20 years old, before I entered the university, I am a professional gamer. Okay, I don't know whether you have read my own profile. Okay, so in case you would like to look for me, here's the staff list. And if you scroll down here, you will find my name here. And this is me. And in case you are interested, you can read my biography. Now, back in the days after attending my A-level exam, I have some time to specialize in gaming before I entered the university. And I think the top rank that I have got in that time is the 4th in Hong Kong. Okay, so I don't know that that was 20 years ago. So I am not as capable as I was back in the days, but I will try to show you something related to how to be a professional gamer, and in case you would like to join this industry, what you need to do. Okay, so these are something that we would like to cover in this whole course. That's why in your Moodle, I have included a course schedule, and this is roughly what we are going to do in the upcoming semester. So I think in the very first week, this is my responsibility to tell you something related to the arrangement of this course, so that you will have an informed choice whether you will continue to take this course or not. Now, this course starts at 10 o'clock, so that I can see that quite a lot of you are very sleepy. I can understand why, especially when you like to game like me. We used to sleep very late. Okay, and it is very challenging for us to wake up early in the morning and then come back to school. Now, every week we will talk about something related to the game industry. And after this type of sharing case study, I will give you something to do. I will give you something to do during the tutorial. So these tutorials are designed to make you more familiar with the lecture topic. So let's say don't talk about the first 2 weeks because it is something related to the introduction and related to the formation of group for your group project. But starting from week 3, I will give you tutorials related to what is meant by a game, understanding different mechanics and understand what are those possible gaming strategies. We can do some kind of case study related to different types of games. We will talk about your personality, how different people would like to play a game, and different person will have different strategy and what kind of things they would like to obtain in a game. Now we will talk about how to do game streaming. So I have asked them to set up OBS here. Let's see if OBS is here. No. So this is OBS Studio, which we will talk about in tutorial X. Now, something that I would like to specifically tell you is that the week number does not necessarily align with the lecture and tutorial number. So because we have the academic week in week 7, so you can see in week 8 in the academic calendar, it is corresponding to lecture 7 and tutorial 7. So when I say week 8, so it means the academic calendar. When I say lecture 7, it means that what we are talking in this particular week, and tutorial 7 means this one. So here I will number it in ascending order continuously. So make sure that in case you would like to refer back to those teaching material that we have covered, go back to this course schedule. It gives you a very good overview about the topics that we have covered in that particular week. Now, so let me continue. Go back to this particular PowerPoint. Now, what is this course about? So I have already given you a brief idea what we will talk about in this course. So this course is called Digital Game Marketing. We will look at it from 2 big angles. We will talk about it from 2 major perspectives that we have. We could look at video game itself as a product. We think about game developers as some kind of company. They need to run a business and they are developing a product and they want to sell it. So we talk about the characteristic of video game as a product, and we will talk about how to market this particular product. And we can also look at it from another perspective. That particular perspective is just like the toy that I have been circulating with you. It is like you have some kind of video game in existence. What kind of marketing can you do by using video game as a tool? So what kind of message that you can embed with this type of products already in existence? Or maybe you would like to market something using video game as a tool. So there will be 2 major perspectives in this particular course. We look at video game as a product. We learn how to market a video game. And we learn how to market with a video game, putting advertisement in the video game, doing those type of e-sport tournament, championship, or even develop those type of toys. So can you give me back my Halo Blaster? So let me. So thank you very much. So these are some kind of toys that you can go to Toys R Us and buy this sort of blaster. And actually, this is a replica related to a rifle in the game called Halo. Okay, so these are something that I will show you once again in the near future, talk about marketing with video game. Now, we will talk about other factors related to this particular industry. We will talk about cultural, we will talk about social, and we will talk about economic factor. So we will talk about basically what are the major factors related to running a game developer as a company. We will talk about the expectation from this community, from this society related to your games. We'll talk about game regulations. So there are, for historical reason, games nowadays will give you some kind of warnings. Let's say mature content, whether this game is designed for adults or for kids. So we have historical reason why we need to do that. And we'll talk about the cultural. So game has been evolved to some kind of cultural activity. So what I have showed you is in that particular brief history of video game, it is not only for entertainment nowadays. Okay, it has been in part of the human history. And we will also talk about these throughout this course. Now we will talk about developer, as I have told you, how to run like a company. We'll talk about the psychological perspective of the player, why they are playing a game, how they are playing a game, what kind of strategies and what kind of personality will affect their strategies. And we will talk about something related to spectators. We'll talk about e-sport. We'll talk about some kind of championship is like this one. In case you have something you would like to market, you can market it using a video game. So these are something that we will talk about in the upcoming 12 weeks. Now, as I have told you, the first part of this particular class will be a lecture. Usually, the material for the lecture will be delivered in PowerPoint slides. And every 2 weeks, you will have a quiz. Now, this course do not have examination, but in order to assess your progress and make sure that you are attending this class, every 2 weeks, you will have a quiz, a very short quiz, which I will also talk about it very soon. Now, I will explain something on your textbook. I will give you some kind of YouTube video and other reference. And also, more importantly, we need to do some gaming in a course that talks about video game. So we will have some kind of demonstration, or maybe I will ask you to do some kind of collaboration, competition using some kind of games. And your assignment will also decide around that particular interesting thing. Now, the rest 1 hour, I will use it for tutorial. Usually the tutorial material will be delivered in the Word format so that you can see on Moodle, there will be 2 files here. So the PowerPoint slide will usually use it for the lecture, and the tutorial notes will be delivered in the Word format. So usually every week you will have these 2 files. Now, and also the tutorial time will be used for your classwork and some kind of group projects. So this is usually the arrangement for every week. This is usually the arrangement for every week. Now, before I move on to talk about what is a business and the stakeholders related to this game industry, I would like to go back to the tutorial notes by giving you some additional information related to this particular course. Now, this course, the scoring structure is something like this. You will have 2 individual assignments, which each will account for 15% of your individual score for this particular course. You will have a group project. Next week, I will give you some time to group yourself into groups, and you will need to design a poster which account for 5% of the group score. I will talk about these three very soon in the next part of this particular tutorial notes. So this is the course the score structure for your individual assignment and also for your group project. Now you have 5 bi-weekly quizzes throughout this course. So every 2 weeks in the lecture, I will give you a short quiz around 10 to 15 minutes. It will be a mix of MC question and short essays. And usually, most of the questions will be related to things that we have covered in the previous 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, I will give you a quiz related to something that we have covered in the previous 2 weeks. And the classwork and participation will account for 10% of your course grade. Now, before I move on to talk about your individual assignments and also your group project, I need to remind you once again, the university has zero tolerance on plagiarism issue. Now, in the previous year, it was the very first time I taught this class, so I just make it convenient for everyone. But this year, it is the second time I am teaching this particular course, so I need to take this plagiarism issue very seriously. Now, make sure that later in this particular semester, whenever you have individual assignment and a group project report that you are submitting, all these need to go through very guide. And whenever there is some kind of plagiarism issue spotted by the system, I will check it manually once again. So I will check it manually once again. Now, the assignment is designed like that. So you could pick a game in assignment 1 and you could pick the same game in assignment 2. So it is very likely that in case you are picking the same game to complete your assignment 2, you will copy directly something from your assignment 1, and that is okay. I could accept that. That's why, except referring to your own earlier assignment for this particular course, each plagiarism issue found by the system, I will check it once again manually. Okay, I will read each issue found by the system one by myself. And in case I have found that the plagiarism issue is valid, I reserve the right to deduct 10% of the score from that particular assignment for each plagiarism issue I have found in your assignment. So this is something that I need to tell you in advance. Okay, so the university is quite serious about this plagiarism issue, and I think I have the responsibility to tell you in advance so that you can decide whether you will continue to take this course or not. Okay, now individual assignments. In this particular course, you will have 2 individual assignments. So the first individual assignment will be related to analyzing a digital game that you could freely select. So I will announce this one in around lecture 4. Okay, I will give you the further detail and guidelines in lecture 4, and it is something related to the first 4 weeks of teaching. Now, you are free to select a game, but among your group, your game should be unique. Okay, among your group, your game should be unique. So let's say you have a group of 5 persons. Each person need to pick a different game. Okay, each person need to pick a different game. So this is the rule. But other than this rule, you are free to pick any digital game that you enjoy playing or you are familiar with. Now, your assignment will be completed in Microsoft Word or PDF format, and you need to submit through the very guide to check for plagiarism issue. Now, the second assignment will be related to indirect learning experience. Now, games could induce learning even if it is not designed for learning purpose. So I will tell you the trick related to how to design a game in order to stimulate these sort of things. And your second assignment really will be related to your own gaming experience by playing a game you actually learned something. So you could pick the same game that you have selected in your assignment 1. And again, same rules apply. So in your own group, your game should be unique. So no two members of the same team could pick the same game. So this is the only rule that I have for your assignment game selection. Now, further detail will be provided in lecture 6 related to assignment 2. Now, in this particular course, you have a group project, and this group project is divided into 3 parts. So the first part, we will do it next week. I will give you some time in the tutorial so that you can form into groups of 4 to 5 students. And at the end of next weekend, next Sunday, I will ask you to give me a poster. Now, this score is all or nothing. So as long as your face is included on one of the poster, you will be given 5 score. Okay, you will be given 5 score as long as your information and your face is on one of the group poster. And this poster will be used as a registration to your group for this particular course. Now, I would like you to create a creative poster. Imagine that you are a professional esports team or a professional game marketing consultant. You come up with a creative poster next week with a creative theme. I would like you to have some kind of profile picture and English name, student ID, and some kind of superpower. I will talk about these next week. So in case you don't have a group next week, I will randomly or automatically assign you into one. After week 2, I will automatically assign you into one of the group after week 2. And in case you are newly assigned to a group, I will ask you to update the poster. Okay, I will ask you to update the poster so that you can get this 5% group score. Okay, so this is the arrangement for the next week. Now, later in this semester, at the end of this semester, your group will need to do something. You need to come up with a digital game marketing proposal, and I would like you to do a presentation or a promotion related to a digital game. Imagine that you are promoting a game. Now, the game that your group selected could be the game that is previously selected by one of your group mates. So you can further extend, and I could accept you copy something from your own previous assignment. Okay, I could accept, let's say, assignment 2, you copy something directly from your own assignment 1, but don't copy from your group mate. Okay, don't copy from the internet. By copying from yourself, I am okay. So the same apply to your group report. In case your group report is actually your group select a game that is previously selected by one of your group mate, I could accept that you copy something directly from your own group mate. Okay, so this is the rule for plagiarism issue. Now, you will select a game and give me a marketing proposal. As some of the things that I expect is from your individual assignment, the weighting for the proposal is less than the weighting for the presentation. I will have more higher weighting for the presentation. And in the presentation, imagine that you are promoting a game. So you think about some method of promoting a game that you have selected. It could be a demonstration like game live streaming. It could be pretending you are a KOL, you have KOL endorsement. Imagine that you are running some kind of championship or esport event, or it could be some kind of press release or press invitation by inviting some of the journalists here, and you are showing off a new game that you have developed. So all these are possible in your final presentation. Now, your final presentation will be arranged in week 14, will be arranged in the very last lecture that we have. So in case you would like to have more details about this arrangement, you could go back to this course schedule. In lecture 4, I will announce assignment 1. In week 6, Sunday, you will need to submit your assignment 1. And in lecture 6, I will announce the assignment 2. In week 9, Sunday, you will need to submit your assignment 2. In lecture 8, I will announce the group project. And in lecture 13, week 14 here, you will present your game here in this particular class. And week 14, Sunday, your group will submit your group report. So this is the flow of this particular course. Now, in case I would like to make any changes to this particular schedule due to actual teaching and learning progress, I will tell you in advance. Okay, in case we are late, in case there is some kind of typhoon signal number 8, or black rainstorm warning that we need to cancel a particular lecture or class, I will tell you in advance what to do. Now, the next thing I would like to talk about is this bi-weekly quiz. As I have told you, this particular course do not have examination. Okay, I will only have individual assignments. I will only have group project. I will only have these bi-weekly quizzes, which you will have 5 quizzes throughout this particular semester. And the bi-weekly quiz is arranged as follows. Now, there will be 30% of your score in total for this particular course. For this particular course throughout this particular semester. So you will have 5 quizzes, and it will be on week 3, week 5, week 8, week 10, and week 12. Every 2 weeks, you will receive a quiz, and mostly it is related to the material that we have covered in the previous 2 weeks. So the quiz will be open book, but it will be difficult, and it will also be very quick pace. So I will allow you to go through the books, but I will tell you, you don't have enough time for it. Okay, you are free to go through, look for the answer in the tutorial material or the textbook, but it will be very quick pace. So I will not recommend you to do it. Now, it will be a mix. It will be a mix of multiple choices and also short essay questions. Okay, and I will tell you in advance this particular mix and the duration of this particular quiz. It may be a little bit different for each particular quiz. It depends on the number of questions that we have. It depends on the number of questions. It depends on the number of multiple choice questions, and it depends on the number of short essay questions we have, and I will adjust the duration accordingly. So usually it will be between 10 to 15 minutes. It may be 12 minutes, 13 minutes, and I will also make it a little bit difficult because I need to differentiate you for different grades that you will receive at the end of this particular semester. 咁所以係會難嘅。Okay, expect it to be a little bit difficult, or else everybody will receive the same grade at the end of the semester. So I need to make it a little bit difficult so that if you put hard work in this particular course, you will get higher grades. And in case you come here to just enjoy gaming, I'm not sure. Okay, now these are something that I would like to talk about for this particular bi-weekly quiz, and there will be no makeup arrangement. So in case you have missed it, you have missed it. There will be no makeup arrangement for this particular quiz. And in case it is some university arrangement for class cancellation, let's say there is a very bad weather that we need to cancel a lecture. In case there is some kind of university-wide celebration that they suddenly come up with an extra holiday. In those particular university-wide cases, a bi-weekly quiz will also be canceled. Okay, in those particular cases, let's say you only have 4 quizzes in this particular semester, I will adjust this one accordingly. So I will expand the maximum score. Let's say, in case you only have 4 quizzes, you will only have a maximum of 6, 24. So you have a maximum of 24 score, and I will count 24 score and adjust it accordingly to 30 score. Okay, so I will use this type of average out calculation in case we have some university-wide cancellation for some of the classes. And the policy is very simple. In case we miss one, we miss one. There will be no make-up arrangement. So in case I am late to the class, okay, imagine that I am late for the class that, so sorry about that, we will cancel that one as well. Okay, we will cancel that one as well. So this is the arrangement for this bi-weekly quizzes that you will receive throughout the semester. And classwork and participation. Now, this is the first week. We are still in the act job period. So this week, I will not take the attendance. We will take the attendance starting from week 2. We'll take the attendance starting from next week. The way we take attendance is very simple, because every week you will have the bi-weekly quiz. So it will be starting at 10:10 every morning. So don't miss it. And in case you have the bi-weekly quiz, attending this bi-weekly quiz will take your attendance automatically. And in case these are weeks that we do not have bi-weekly quiz, I will give you some kind of classwork. So you submit your classwork, I will count attendance accordingly. Okay, you submit classwork, I will mark the attendance accordingly. Now, in case you are just attending the class, but you are not participating, you will get the attendance, but you will not get the participation score. So the classwork quality will determine this participation score. So the university has a very strict requirement for 70% attendance. So as long as you are here more than, okay, let me put it this way, don't miss more than 3 bi-weekly quizzes and classwork combined. Okay, if you miss more than 3, it will be instant fail for this particular course. So the university has a very strict 70% attendance in order to pass a score, in order to pass this course. If you miss more than 3 weekly quizzes and classwork combined, it will be instant fail. It will be instant fail. You don't need to come to the class the rest of the semester. Okay, take it again next year. Take it again next year. Now, so if everything is normal, we will have 12 teaching weeks. So you have to attend 9 out of 12 in order to be eligible for a pass. This is the university policy. Don't blame me. Okay, don't blame me for this particular arrangement. This is arranged by the university. So submitting classwork, submitting your bi-weekly quiz will give you the attendance automatically. But in case you would like to have higher score for this particular 10%, make sure that you give me some high quality classwork. Okay, attending does not necessarily means participating. So these are 2 separate concepts. Now this week, we will not take the attendance. So feel free to drop this course in case you are not happy about it. In case you find this course interesting, ask your friend to join. Okay, so these are some arrangement. Now I will talk about this one later. Okay, so these are some course-related arrangement for this particular course. Okay, so I think many of you are very sleepy. So I think I should give you 10 minutes of break before I move on to talk about a brief introduction about the content in the upcoming weeks. Okay, so shall we have a break of 10 minutes? Let's say, what about we continue at 11:30? Okay, 11:30. So I will pause the recording on Zoom and we will take a break. Okay, so after this break, and we will continue to talk about some introduction to this particular course. So the first thing that I would like to discuss with you is that now you are, I think most of you are BBA students who are not BBA student here. 有冇啲唔係 BBA 嘅同學喺度啊？即係你可能係文學院嗰邊嘅，冇啊嘛，全部都係 BBA 噶嘛。So all of you are BBA student, and probably you are which major? Digital marketing 定係 HRM？ Digital marketing. Okay, so I think most of you are from digital marketing, and also I think the 有冇嗰個咩BBA on 嗰個啊？有冇同學係嗰個啊？全部都係有，咁邊個唔係 digital marketing 啊？有邊個唔係 digital marketing 喺度 ？Okay, great. So everybody, so you know business of some sort. Okay, so tell me what is a business? If I try to ask you, okay, what is a business? Tell me what is a business. Now, I think now you're supposed to be year 3 student. This is a course designed for year 3 student. So you should have some understanding about what is a business. Okay, after learning for 2 years, so this is the first semester of your 3rd year of study. What is a business? 咩啊？即係我哋所謂嘅你工商管理學士啊 ，OK， 工商管理 ，OK， 咁啊嗰個商係咩嚟啦 ？OK，what is a business? Now, you can think about it this way. You can think about it this way. When I was young, when I was studying BBA, I don't know how many years ago. Okay, so this is something that I always ask myself because when I was studying secondary school, I like to understand how things works, and business is like something that is very far from me. It is something very conceptual. And when I was studying secondary school, I like to use a screwdriver, break open my computer and look at the internal workings of my own computer. 咁我將佢拆開部機啦，自己砌機啦，自己砌個電腦啦，咁我將佢扭開啲零件嚟睇下後入邊係咩樣嘅。So business to me is unlike those type of engineering things. It is not like, okay, what is a business? It's a very difficult answer. And this is something that I come up with, or after learning so many years of business, this is something that I've concluded. Now, let me look at this one. Let us look at this one. I think you probably seen this diagram before. Okay, this is the Porter's value chain model. So it talks about some kind of basic component of how value is being created in a company. Now, let me put it this way. What is a business? Business is a value acting process. Okay, business is not an entity. Business is a process. So what is meant by business? It is like, imagine that you have something like this. Okay, somebody need to make it. You need to go to a factory, or you own a factory. You buy some kind of raw material. You buy those type of machines, and you need to have somebody designing these sort of toys. And then you go through the production line and produce these sort of things. And eventually you need to sell it to the market. Now you think about it this way. Imagine that you are some kind of manufacturing. Let's say you need to buy some kind of raw materials. Let's say I want to have some kind of raw plastic, and I would like to have some kind of operations. Let's say I would like to have somebody designing this toy. I would like to go to Microsoft and ask for a production license of this particular design because it is from one of the games. I need to have somebody go to the production line, turning this type of raw plastic into a real product. So these type of things all include some kind of cost. You need to pay a price to buy some kind of raw plastic. You need to pay your designer. You need to go to your production line, and there are operation costs of your factory like electronics, electricity, utilities, all these type of things. And once you have produced a toy like this, you need to sell it. And you think about it, the price that you charge your customer, deducting the cost that you have paid to make this product, it will be your margin. So this is essentially the profit that is left over for you or your company. So think about it, business is actually a value-adding process. You take something, you turn it into something more valuable, and you sell it, and hope that this selling price could cover things, could cover all the costs producing this product. So if you think about business is a value-adding process, what about game? If you think about game as a product, this is a game that I would like to show you. It is a game that is released a number of years ago. This is actually when I was still studying BBA in HKSYU. Now, when I demonstrate this game, I would like you to look at something. What is the value-adding process? What is being produced, and how to measure whether your product is successful and it is suitable for the market. The market actually needs this sort of product. Okay, so this is the game that I will show you now. Come on. So let me see if I can put it closer to where we are. So this is Steam. We will talk about it later in this particular course. So this is actually my Steam account, but don't look for me on Steam. I very seldom play games with friends. I only have a very limited number of friends on my Steam account. And this is the game that I would like to show you. This is called Game Dev Tycoon, so Game Development Tycoon. So it is like a simulation of running a game development company. You are the game developer. Well, maybe I can click on play and I will just show you what happened. Okay, very interesting background music. Okay, so maybe I can start a new game. I start a new company. So this is some kind of game demo. 我哋睇得清唔清楚嘅啫，其實使唔使熄咁個燈啊？唔使啊。Okay, so welcome to Game Dev Tycoon. This is the business simulation that take you throughout some kind of game PC revolution throughout 35 years of time. So, okay, so I need to name my company. So what should we name? Maybe Xuyan Entertainment. Okay. Is it? Okay. Asian games. Okay, something like this. Okay, okay. So Joseph, or something like that. Okay, let's keep it this way. Now there is some kind of adjustment, so I just keep it 35 years and turn this off. I may show you this one later when we talk about distribution. Okay, so just click it OK. So maybe I can pick one that is not very successful. Just pick this one. Okay, override it. Now this is me. Okay, this is me. So basically, this is the time. This is the cache. Okay, let make it less noisy. So this is actually the time, the number of fans you have, and also the cache. And here are some parameters. So when you are developing a game, there will be some kind of project. And just imagine that 30 years ago, at the dawn of computer entertainment, you use your garage, okay, in California, okay, in Silicon Valley. A lot of these companies start from their garage. Okay, so imagine that you use your garage as your development site. So the first thing you need to do is try to develop a new game. So what kind of game that you like? So it depends on what kind of topics that we have. So we can pick a topic of this game. We can pick martial arts, rhythm, thief, and technology. Okay, just pick martial arts first. And we can pick a genre. Okay, this genre, I think, let's pick action. So that I think martial art is a good combination with action. As I have played this game before, there will be some tips that this is a great combo. And pick a platform. Now, this is the very old days, so maybe I can pick a PC game. Later in this game, let's say 5 years later, 10 years later, there will be Nintendo, there will be PlayStation, there will be Xbox, there will be iPhone. So there is a lot of very interesting things. Now, I'm not very imaginative for this type of naming, so I just use a short term, let's say Kung Fu here, KF, okay, something like that. Okay, now it could be a text-based Kung Fu game. It can be a 2D graphics, and I think when you talk about action game, it should contain some kind of graphics. Okay, text-based, no. Okay, so start the development. So when you are developing some game, some design score and some technology score will go to your project. And when you are developing the game, there will be some bugs. So before you release your game, you need to make sure that there will be no bugs. And throughout this development process, there will be some research score that you can in exchange for some higher level graphics, better sound, and all other interesting features that you can incorporate in your game. So this is the action game. So let me maybe, now I have some interesting tips in my previous playthrough. So I want more engine, more gameplay, not a lot of story related to Kung Fu, martial arts and action. So let's put it this way. So this is the number of time allocated for this development stage. Okay, so throughout this development, okay, now this is stage 2. So I don't think action game, you need a lot of very fancy dialogues. So let me make it less. Maybe it is more interesting if I incorporate better AI and better in level design. So let's allocate the time this way. Okay, so you can see more design and technology is coming. Okay, and then the final stage, you can incorporate some features. So this is some basic sound, some graphics. So let me put more graphics, better sound, and I don't need a very fancy world design, something like that. Okay, so the game is finished, but you need to make sure that the bugs are gone. Okay, and then you can click finish. Okay, so when you are developing this game, as I have told you, you will gain some research point, and also you will level up in terms of the engine, gameplay, and various feature that we have selected some, how to say, selected some features and time allocated to it. And also your own character will have some kind of level developed to it. So I will release it. This game will go to the market next week. Okay, so just like a lot of products, you have number of stars in a review. And when you are developing a game, there will be a lot of different magazines that will review your game to tell you that whether this is a good game or not. So let's see the game review. Okay, enjoyable. Very enjoyable. That is a good sign. Shows potential, which is not good. And love it. Okay, so we have an average score around 7 something. And after the game is being released, okay, Xuan game, a newcomer to the game industry. Okay, great. New game. And then your game will start to sell out. So this is the number of units sold to the market. And your game appeared to be in the 26th place in the market. And accordingly, the number of unit sales will generate some cash for your own development house. And also, if your game is enjoyable by your friends, you will earn some fans, just like some new followers on your Instagram. Okay, now, so when you are selling this game, you can do some additional things. You can, okay, try to generate a game report. So let's see what we are doing. Okay, so over 10,000 sold, which is a good sign. Talking about that, this is our first game that is being developed. And okay, here is the report. Okay, so we can click to see the report. Now, story and quest seems not to be not important for this type of game. Okay, and you can develop new game. And you can pick, let's say, if you have a martial art adventure, then that will give you some kind of tips. Now go back to, now let me load up some more interesting games. So as if you continue to play this game, your game will become very big. So let me pick this one. Your company will become this big. You have quite a lot of employees working under you. You can have a very big office. Let's say the computer become this one. So you have racing simulation, post-apocalyptic RPG action, business strategy, just like a game that we are playing, time travel adventure. And I can, let's say, you can develop a sequel. In case you have a very successful game, you can develop a sequel. Let's say, talk about develop a new game. So these are the topic if you continue to play. Actually, each run through is randomized. These are some of the topics that you could potentially pick. Let's say military, suitable for mature players, not suitable for young players, something like that. Maybe you can pick the first genre, let's say strategy, simulation, something like that. Military strategy simulation, and you can pick a lot of different system. You can play system 4. I think you know what is it. Okay, M-Box next, a PC. This is play system 5, swap. To prevent some kind of copyright infringement, they designed the game system like that. So this gives you a brief idea. So this is a very interesting game in case you would like to experience how game development house work. Now, so let me stop this game because I would like to go back to the PowerPoint slide. Now, let me put this one aside. I will show you some other things soon. Now, hope that you enjoy this particular simulation. But the main idea here is, what is the value adding process in the business simulation game that I have demonstrated to you? 佢製造咗啲咩價值啊？佢整咗啲咩出嚟賣啊？ Okay, so the game is a value adding process. So you add technology, you add design, you hire some programmer, you develop a game, you research new game engine, and then you eventually want to sell it to the market. And I think this one, game is being produced. How to measure success? Now, there are a number of ways that I have showed you in the previous game, measuring the success of a game and also a game development house. It could be very simply the number of copies that you have sold in the market after you have developed the game and after you release the game to the market. It could be the number of cash that you have received from the market after selling the game. It could be number of fans that you have earned when they read the review and they enjoy playing the game. And it could be your game review that you have developed an excellent game. You devote your time and money, resources, you hire some excellent programmers and engineers and designers to help you develop a game. And eventually it becomes a very successful title. So this demonstration by playing this particular simulation game that we have, imagine that you are running a game development house. These are some of the factors that you can experience developing of a game and how to measure a success related to developing or running a game development house. Now, this is the business model canvas. And I think throughout these 2 years of study, you should have somehow came across this particular diagram. Now, I think later next tutorial, I will give you a more in-depth overview, repeating what we would like to cover in this business model canvas. What do we mean by the customer of this particular game industry? What are the value proposition? What are the key value, key resources, key partners? How to generate revenue, and what are the costs involved? So these are something that we could talk about in the next lecture. Okay, about how to run a game development house. What is a game? How to win your friends, and what are the possible source of income that you can get by selling your game or selling your license or running a software house. So these are production costs, marketing, development machines. So let's say these type of computer you need to buy, you need to hire some expert, and there are some costs and revenue within. So maybe I can talk about these in detail in the next week. Okay, we can talk about it in the next week. This week is just an introduction. I will not go in depth because you may not be here. You may drop out from this elective and new student may be coming in. So I just leave it here and make sure that in case you enjoy this course, make sure you stay here. Now, in the upcoming week, as I have told you, next week, I will talk about what is a game. So there are some definitions. There are throughout history, a lot of people do research related to what is meant by a game and what is meant by a video game. So we try to look at it as a product and also look at it as a service. We could also talk about the game development and some kind of game mechanics related to the business perspective. What kind of revenue when a game development house is selling their game? What are the possible ways that they can get income and the way that they distribute their games? And what are the possible marketing strategies or on these type of Steam platform that you can sell something. And week 4, we will talk about the psychological perspective. We will talk about the player side. What kind of mechanism included in a game that will drive a player crazy? They will make you addicted. They will make you want to play more. So we'll try to understand the psychological perspective by looking into different game mechanics in different type of games. Now, this is the product perspective of game itself. Now, we will spend 2 weeks to talk about the marketing perspective. There are different type of games, and different type of games, they could use different ways to market the game. Let's say games could be immersion. These could be very unreal. Okay, these could be frictional. Let's say things that maybe I can show you here. So there are some games here that are very likely to be unrealistic. Let's say here, we have medieval magic. We have medieval action. We have some kind of aeroplane flying game. Now I can show you this one throughout our upcoming tutorial and you will know what happened. Now, in case you experience real flying simulator, you will know that the way you fly an aeroplane in this type of action-packed aeroplane game is not the way it is. Okay, so there is some real difference from this sort of Ace Combat 7 from Microsoft Flying Simulator. Now, maybe this type of game, Death Stranding, will make sure you actually attached to this type of virtual world and immerse yourself into this type of experience and also other things. So this game, like this one, maybe I can also show you later in different tutorials. So there are ways to market these sort of games, and there are other experience as well. There are games designed for simulation gaming experience, just like the game that I have just showed you, Game Development Tycoon. Experience some running of a real game development house. Now I can show you another one. Now this is the game that from my age, but very interesting. They have it on Steam. That's why I have downloaded it and I can show you this interesting game. This is called Transportation Tycoon. This is the open one. So basically we have a lot of fans, just like the game that I have showed you. You have fans that are capable enough that when a game was released, let's say 20 years ago, they are interested to remake it. They are interested to remaster it and put it available online free of charge. So this game is actually free of charge. So let me play this game. This is Open Transportation Tycoon Deluxe. Okay, now let me put it into full screen. So let me see. I will change it to US dollar. So make sure that I will choose US dollar. Language is English, interface size. Make it easier for you to read so that I will double. Is it? No. Okay, this is, I think it's good enough. So I will make it full resolution and I will put it in full screen. Okay, something like this. So auto save, okay, these are okay. So I can start running a company. And no, maybe I can show you one of the games. Do I have any loaded one? Anyway, so let's play a new game. Practice one and then generate. Now, what is this game about? This is a game that is related to running a transport company. Now, I don't have a mouse, so I think it is a little bit difficult for me to right click 個 Mac 我唔識 Is it something like this? 唉搞佢唔掂喎 OK 所以我咧係非常之唔中意用呢個 Mac 嘅 Anyway 咁唔緊要啦 OK so this is what is this game about? This game is about building your own transportation company. Let's say imagine that there are two cities here. You can build some kind of railroads here. This is the game that I enjoy a lot when I was studying primary and secondary school. So you can build a train station here. So you can see it accepts some kind of passengers, it supplies some kind of mail, and then you can build some kind of train station here and here. And then you can link it up with some kind of railway. Okay, something like this. And then we join it together. And then we need a warehouse or depot. So we need to build a depot here. And here, you can buy a train. So I will buy some kind of steam engine with 2 passenger car. And I will instruct the train to go here and then go here. Okay, and then you can start running a business. And at the same time, oh, this is me, look like nice. I can also build a headquarter somewhere here. So this is my headquarter of my company. And you can see the train is going this way, carrying nothing, very sad. So okay. So it is taking 12 passenger, 10 passenger from this city and then going to this city. And when the train arrives, the passenger will give me some profit. Okay, some income, something like that. So this is some kind of game that we could play together. So later, I think this game has some kind of multiplayer and incorporated Okay, so you have the idea. So these are some kind of business simulation. Now later, maybe not in this course, I am trying to include this game in the digital market, the digital entrepreneurship course or the e-business course to give you some kind of experience related to what is competition. Okay, so you can have you different, you imagine that you are running a company. Okay, something like this. So these are some kind of simulation gaming experience. And I think the way for you to market this sort of simulation game is different from marketing games from immersion gaming experience. Okay, so these are the things that we will talk about related to the marketing perspective of this particular industry. Now, we will also talk about the user perspective. We will talk about the user perspective. Let's say different types of gaming behavior. I will try to make you understand more about yourself by looking at the Bartle taxonomy, which categorizes gamer into 4 different categories. We will talk about it in week 7, and we will talk about something related to competition and collaboration. So there are some strategies, there are some collaborations and competition behavior that players will experience in their gameplay process. Now, one of the very famous video recently released in 1 or 2 years ago is called Ready Player One. It talks about some kind of virtual experience in case you are interested to know more about these sort of behaviors, maybe you can go into have a watch of this movie. And finally, we will talk about something related to the future. Let's say we will talk about something related to eSport. To be more specific, we'll talk about some kind of participant, commentators, spectators, essentially some kind of events related to eSport, and also something related to the future. So basically, these are something that we will cover in this upcoming semester. Okay, now, do you have any questions related to things that I have talked about related to this course as an introduction, and what are the requirements that you have for this particular course? Okay, now, do you have any questions? Now, if there is no questions, because this is the very first class, I will not keep you for long, so maybe we can end the class earlier. Now, next week, we will talk about the nature of video game as a product, just like something that I have showed you. I will give you some kind of classwork so that I will use it as marking your attendance. Now, in the tutorial, I will give you some time to form into groups and give you some time to take pictures and design your creative poster for the group project. And at the end of next week, you will need to submit your creative group poster to Moodle as a registration of your group project. Okay, so these are all the things that I would like to talk about for this very first class that we have. Now, once again, now this is the egg drop period. So today, I will not take the attendance, but we will start taking attendance next week by doing some kind of classwork or by attending some bi-weekly quizzes. So these are all the things that I would like to cover for this particular week. And in case you like the course, stay here. In case, so that I will see you next week once again. In case you find it too difficult, feel free to drop it. In case you find it interesting, ask your friend to join. Okay, so these are all the things that I would like to talk about. Now, before I let you go, once again, I am Joseph. In case you are late to this class, my office is upstairs in room 441. This is the QR code where you can use this phone number to WhatsApp message to me. Okay, so thank you very much for coming today, and I hope to see you next week.